Dear Starseed, something in you has always known that you think differently. Not slightly differently, fundamentally differently. The way you process the world around you, the way you see through things others barely notice, the way your mind moves 3 steps ahead before most people have taken their first, that is not an accident. That is architecture. I am Tyron, a representative of the High Council of Sirius, and what I bring you today is not a compliment. It is a remembrance of something you buried to make others comfortable. By the end of this message, you will understand why your intelligence has felt more like a burden than a gift, and why that is finally about to change. There is a kind of mind that was seeded into this world carrying Sirian codes, a mind that processes at depths most people never reach. And that mind, your mind, has spent years being misread, called too much, called intense, asked to slow down, simplify, play smaller so others would not feel unsettled by the clarity you carry. And somewhere along the way, you began to wonder if something was wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. What others called dangerous was simply depth they had no map for. What made certain people pull away from you was not a flaw in your nature. It was the light your presence cast in spaces that preferred the dark. A river this deep does not rush. It moves with quiet, steady power, and everything in its current eventually reveals itself. You were never the problem in those rooms. You were the mirror. You did not find this message by chance. Your mind, the very intelligence you have been second-guessing, carried you here. And the fact that you are still listening means you are ready to stop apologizing for what you were always meant to be. And I am grateful you are here with me now. That intelligence you carry, the kind that reads a room before you've said a word, that feels the weight of what isn't being said, that knows when something is wrong even when every surface tells you it's fine. That isn't a gift you learned. It was never something anyone taught you. It arrived with you. It is part of the original architecture of what you are. Imagine a finely tuned instrument, born with an exquisite sensitivity to the subtlest vibrations, capable of perceiving harmonies and dissonances imperceptible to others. This inherent knowing, this profound intuition, is not a skill acquired through diligent practice or instruction. It is woven into the very fabric of your being, an intrinsic part of your spiritual DNA, as fundamental as the beating of your heart. And yet, for most of your life, you've been quietly managing it, softening it, translating it into something smaller, something more acceptable, something that didn't make the people around you uncomfortable. You spent years learning how to be just a little less perceptive, a little less aware, a little less you, because the full version of what you are has always felt like too much for this world to receive. It's as if you've been trying to dim the brilliance of a star so as not to overwhelm the eyes of those accustomed to twilight. You've muted your colors, lowered your voice, and tucked away the vastness of your inner landscape because the unfiltered radiance of your true self felt like a blinding light in a world that prefers shadows. This voluntary dimming, this careful calibration of your essence, has been an act of love and survival, a way to navigate a reality that often recoils from what it doesn't understand. You've learned to wear a mask of normalcy, a costume designed to blend in, all while the vibrant, untamed spirit within yearned for expression. That ache you carry isn't emptiness, it's overflow. It's what happens when a soul is encoded with more than the average human experience can hold, and yet has been trying, quietly and patiently, to fit itself inside one anyway. Think of a mighty river brimming with the boundless energy of a mountain range, being forced to flow through the narrow confines of a dry creek bed. The pressure builds, the banks strain, and the very essence of the river feels constricted. This sensation of yearning, of something more pressing against the edges of your current reality, is not a sign of lack, but of abundance. It's the soul's powerful capacity, its inherent grandeur, struggling against limitations that were never meant to contain it. The disconnection you felt from the world, from the people around you, from what passes for normal. That isn't a wound. It isn't evidence that something went wrong. It is the clearest signal that something is going right. Your codes are beginning to stir. The waters within you are starting to clear. This feeling of being an outsider, of not quite belonging, is not a malfunction. It is a beacon illuminating the fact that your energetic signature, your soul's blueprint, is operating on a different, higher frequency. The turbulence you've experienced is the initial stirring of profound awakening, like sediment at the bottom of a lake being gently agitated, preparing for a magnificent clarity. Some healing doesn't come through words. It comes through water. If something stirred within you just now, you may be ready to receive the Sirian water codes. This powerful guide carries sacred techniques channeled from the waters of Sirius, clearing baths, breathing practices, sound activations, and protection rituals designed specifically for starseeds who have always felt called by the ocean. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. Just as a parched earth drinks in the life-giving rain, your spirit may be ready to absorb the potent, cleansing energies from a celestial source. The waters of Sirius, ancient and pure, hold the keys to releasing old patterns and recalibrating your energetic field. These aren't just techniques, they are initiations, a homecoming to the oceanic essence that resonates deep within your starseed nature. Imagine submerging yourself in a current of liquid starlight, allowing it to wash away the residue of earthly density and awaken the primal memory of your cosmic origins. There is a reason the ancient builders by the Nile encoded their greatest wisdom not in obvious places, but in the geometry of their structures, in the angles of stone, in the relationship between water and light. The knowledge most worth carrying is rarely worn on the surface. It lives deep, and what lives inside you is exactly that kind of knowledge, ancient, layered, patient. It has been waiting for the moment when you were ready to stop questioning whether it was real and simply let it rise. Consider the pyramids, standing as silent testaments to profound understanding. Their secrets embedded not in inscriptions, but in their very form, their orientation to the stars, their harmonious interplay with the life-giving river. True wisdom, the kind that transforms, is not superficial. It is foundational, embedded in the very structure of reality, and, more importantly, in the core of your being. This knowledge within you is like an ancient seed, dormant for eons, waiting for the precise conditions to germinate and unfurl its magnificent potential. It has always been there, a reservoir of truth, patiently awaiting your readiness to tap into its inexhaustible supply. That moment is now. The cosmic currents are aligning, the veil is thinning, and the inner call to remember is growing undeniable. This is not a moment to be postponed or debated. It is an invitation to step into the current of your becoming. Things have felt unclear lately, like you've been trying to see through deep water. And the temptation, when everything feels murky, is to decide that something has gone wrong. But water doesn't get murky because it's broken. It gets murky when something that has settled at the bottom for a long time is finally being disturbed, finally being moved. What you're feeling isn't the fog of confusion. It's the motion of something waking up. Old patterns dissolving. Old definitions of who you are and what you're allowed to be, releasing their grip on you at last. The water has to stir before it can clear, and you are in the stirring. Imagine a deep, still pond that has accumulated layers of silt and fallen leaves over many years. When a gentle tremor passes through the earth, or a strong current begins to flow, the accumulated debris is stirred, clouding the water momentarily. This cloudiness is not a sign of damage. It is an indication that the pond is alive, that change is occurring, and that the underlying clarity is being prepared for revelation. This is what is happening within you now, the necessary churning before the profound settling and purification. There is something encoded inside you that goes far deeper than anything you were taught in this life. not a belief, not a philosophy, something structural, something written into the original design of your soul before it ever took form here. The Sirian teachings carry this understanding that certain souls arrive already knowing, already carrying instructions written in frequency, not in words. You were never meant to be built by this world. You were meant to remember what you already were before you arrived in it. And that remembering often begins exactly the way it's beginning for you now, as a feeling you can't quite name, a pull towards something you've never seen, but somehow recognize, a quiet certainty that there is more to you than anyone around you has ever been able to confirm. This is the essence of your original blueprint, a divine code embedded within your very essence before you incarnate. It is not learned knowledge, but innate wisdom, a higher dimensional programming that predates your earthly experience. Think of it as a cosmic song, sung into existence before time began, and your soul carries the melody, the feeling of recognition for things you've never encountered, the inexplicable longing for a home you can't quite place. These are echoes of that primordial song, stirring within you, beckoning you back to yourself. You are not broken and searching for answers. You are whole and beginning to remember what whole actually feels like. Your wholeness is not something to be achieved, but something to be reclaimed. It's like a magnificent sculpture that has been covered in dust. The dust obscures its beauty, but it doesn't diminish the form itself. As you clear away the layers of perceived imperfection and misunderstanding, the inherent perfection of your being begins to shine through, and you recognize the profound completeness that has always been present. This is where many starseeds stumble, because the next phase doesn't look like progress. Nothing seems to be moving. The clarity you hoped for hasn't arrived yet. The mission you feel you're meant to be living still feels frustratingly out of reach, and the mind, which has been trained by this world to measure worth by visible output, starts to whisper that you're falling behind, that you should be further along, that something is stalling. This phase can feel like being adrift in a vast ocean, the shore nowhere in sight with no wind in your sails. The ego mind, conditioned by the linear, results-oriented nature of this dimension, interprets stillness as stagnation, quietude as failure. It seeks tangible proof of advancement, measurable milestones. But spiritual growth often operates on different principles, akin to the slow, deliberate unfurling of a seed beneath the soil. But the stillness is not stalling, it's anchoring. It's what happens when a river reaches a wide, calm pool. It doesn't push forward immediately. It pauses, it spreads, it finds its depth before it finds its next direction. Your soul is stabilizing everything it has already received before it can hold what comes next. This is not the absence of movement. This is the most important kind of movement, the kind that happens below the surface, where no one can see it, where even you can barely feel it. Be gentle with yourself here. This phase is sacred. This period of apparent inertia is actually a profound act of integration. Just as a river expands and deepens in a calm pool, gathering strength and clarity before continuing its journey, your soul is consolidating its recent awakenings. It is building a stable foundation, a deep wellspring of energy and wisdom to support the next unfolding of its purpose. This internal recalibration is the most vital work, the silent preparation for the grander flows yet to come. Treat this time with reverence, understanding it as the sacred process of deep grounding. You may not see it yet, but the shift inside you is already changing things around you. People respond to you differently than they used to. Certain conversations feel heavier than they once did. Certain spaces feel wrong in a way you can't explain. And other things, a piece of music, the sound of rain, the feeling of standing near the ocean, carry a weight of recognition that doesn't belong to this life alone. That isn't coincidence. When one current changes direction, everything downstream is affected. You don't need to announce what is happening inside you. You are already transmitting it. and those who carry a frequency that resonates with yours are already beginning to find their way toward you. The waters of Sirius have always understood this, that like calls to like, that depth recognizes depth, that what you carry in silence speaks louder than anything you could say aloud. Your inner transformation is a ripple effect, extending outward into your environment. As your energetic frequency elevates, your interactions shift. The subtle changes in how others perceive you, the new discernment you have for environments and conversations, are all indicators of your evolving resonance. You are like a lighthouse beacon, its steady light attracting ships that are sailing in the same direction, even if they cannot see the source of the illumination. Those who are tuned to your new frequency are naturally drawn to your presence, recognizing a kindred spirit without conscious explanation. The hardest phase is the one that asks you to release what was never truly yours to begin with, the beliefs about what you should want, what you should be, how you should move through the world, the emotional weight you absorbed from people around you who were hurting and couldn't hold it themselves. And so it settled into your field because you were sensitive enough, open enough, loving enough to take it in. The exhaustion of performing a version of yourself that was crafted for other people's comfort. You are allowed to set all of it down, every last piece of it. The river does not carry every stone it passes over. It lets them sink gently to the bottom and keeps moving. And the river does not grieve the stones. It trusts the current. This is the great shedding, the intentional exhalation of all that no longer serves your authentic being. These burdens are often adopted beliefs, inherited emotional patterns, and the energetic residue of others' pain. They are like heavy anchors that have held you captive. Releasing them is not a loss, but a liberation. Picture yourself standing on the bank of a majestic river, consciously placing these borrowed weights into the water, watching them sink away as you turn your gaze to the horizon, trusting the powerful current of your soul to carry you forward. You are not late. You have never been behind. Every year that felt wasted, every detour, every long season of not understanding what you were feeling or why you couldn't simply be like everyone else around you, none of it was a mistake. In the Sirian understanding of time, there is no such thing as a late awakening. There is only the unfolding. And the unfolding has a timing that does not answer to your impatience, or to the world's expectations, or to the quiet fear that you may have missed your window. The tide doesn't rush, but it always arrives, and it always arrives exactly when the shore is ready. Your soul's journey is not a race with a fixed finish line. It is a sacred unfolding, a divinely orchestrated series of experiences, each one precisely timed for your growth and evolution. The feeling of being behind is an illusion created by the human construct of time. Embrace the truth that your timing is perfect, that every experience, every delay, every moment of perceived confusion has been a vital part of your unique, divinely guided path. The tide always comes in, not because it is hurried, but because its moment is inevitable and perfectly ordained. Now here is what all of it has been preparing you for. You are not here to save anything. You are not here to fix what is broken, or to fight what is dark, or to carry what others have refused to carry. That version of the Starseed mission is too heavy and too small. What you are here to do is something quieter and far more powerful than any of that. You are here to be present, fully, completely, unapologetically present, as exactly what you are. And that presence, that authentic frequency, that quality of intelligence you carry, the kind that reads the unsaid, that feels what is hidden, that knows without being told, that is not something the world gets to manage. It is not something you should soften or apologize for, or shrink to accommodate anyone's comfort. It is your most precise and sacred offering. The grandest mission is not one of heroic intervention, but of radiant being. Your true purpose is not to alter the world through external action, but to embody your authentic essence so fully that its light naturally shifts the energetic landscape. Your refined perception, your intuitive knowing, your capacity to sense the deeper currents of existence, These are not tools for manipulation or salvation, but the sacred gifts you bring to the collective. Simply by existing as your full luminous self, you offer a potent frequency that uplifts and awakens those around you. It is a silent, powerful transmission of truth. The ancient builders who raised their temples from the desert sand by the Nile understood something that the modern world has largely forgotten: that the most powerful act is not the grand gesture or the loud declaration. It is the quiet alignment of a soul with its true frequency. It is showing up completely, without armor, without performance, without the exhausted pretense that you are less than what you are. That alignment changes everything it touches. It doesn't have to announce itself. It simply is. And it is enough, more than enough. The pyramids stand not as monuments to force, but to profound understanding and harmonic alignment. Similarly, your greatest power lies not in striving or asserting, but in the pure, unadulterated expression of your core being. When you stand in your truth, fully aligned with your soul's frequency, without the need for external validation or defense, you become a conduit for divine energy. This presence radiates outwards, subtly yet profoundly influencing your reality. It is the silent power of a star shining, its light simply existing and illuminating the cosmos. You chose to forget, not because you were weak, not because something went wrong in the design. You chose to forget because the kind of awakening you are here to experience, the kind that could only happen through genuine searching, genuine loss, genuine not knowing, required the full weight of the not remembering, like a pearl that can only form under pressure, in darkness, at the bottom of the ocean. What you are becoming could only be shaped by exactly what you have been through. Every moment of confusion was the water working on you, smoothing away what never belonged, revealing, slowly and with great patience, what was always there underneath. The descent into forgetting was not a flaw in your design, but a necessary crucible for your awakening. It provided the contrast, the challenge, the fertile ground for profound growth. Just as the oyster creates a pearl by enveloping an irritant, transforming discomfort into beauty, your soul has been crafting its magnificent truth through the very experiences you perceived as hardships. Every phase of confusion, every moment of doubt has been the divine alchemist at work, gently polishing away the extraneous, allowing the pure essence of your being to emerge, radiant and whole. You are not here to fit into this world. You never were. You are here to remind it gently, quietly, powerfully of something it forgot a very long time ago. And the fact that you are still here, that you stayed through all of it, through the confusion and the longing and the years of feeling like no one around you could quite see what you were, that says everything. You are not watching from the edges anymore. You are in the current, and the current knows exactly where it is going. Your presence here in this earthly realm is not an accident or an imposition. You are a living remembrance, a celestial echo, here to reawaken humanity to its own forgotten cosmic heritage. Your endurance through the challenges, your unwavering spirit despite the feeling of being unseen, is a testament to your profound purpose. You are no longer an observer on the periphery of life. You have fully entered the flow, becoming an integral part of the grand, unfolding destiny. Trust the current, for it is the divine river of your soul, carrying you purposefully towards your true destination. Tonight, if it feels right, place your hand over your heart and say quietly, "I remember who I am. I trust the waters that carried me here. I am ready to flow into what comes next." Before you go, leave one word in the comments, just one, that describes what you felt during this message. Then find someone else's word and respond with encouragement. This isn't just a comment section, it's a space where starseeds recognize each other. And that recognition carries more power than you know. If something in this message touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you'd like to keep receiving these transmissions, subscribe. The waters of Sirius will carry us to the next one. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your space, and I'm grateful you are here.